We just moved into this weird old house on the edge of town. It was dusty, creaky, and gave me the creeps. But rent was cheap. It had belonged to a reclusive artist who died alone. No family, no will. Just an abandoned place full of strange paintings and weird locked doors. My mom called it quirky and my little brother loved exploring it. But I always felt like something was watching me, like the walls had eyes. One night while unpacking, I noticed a draft coming from the back of my closet. I pushed my clothes aside and saw an outline in the wall. It looked like a door but without a handle. I tapped it. Hollow. I ran to get a flashlight and screwdriver. My heart pounded as I pried it open. The wall creaked and gave way, revealing a narrow dark staircase going down. It smelled like old wood and something else. Something rotting. I hesitated. My instincts screamed to shut it, but curiosity won. I tiptoed down the creaky stairs, flashlight shaking in my hand. My breath caught in my throat. At the bottom was a tiny room with yellowed wallpaper, a single broken chair, and piles of dusty boxes. On the walls were photos, dozens of them. They were all of me, different outfits, different angles, some from behind, walking home, others through windows, all recent. My blood ran cold. I backed away, heart racing. Who took these? How long had someone been watching me? And worse, why were they hiding them here? I wanted to scream. I bolted up the stairs, heart pounding like a drum. I slammed the hidden door shut and shoved boxes in front of it. I couldn't believe what I'd seen. I tried telling Mom about it, but she was too busy unpacking and dealing with Wi-Fi issues. Maybe you imagined it, sweetie. You've been stressed lately. I wasn't imagining anything. I knew what I saw. The angles of those photos. They weren't normal. Someone had been stalking me for months. That night, I barely slept. Every creak in the hallway made me flinch. I kept picturing someone watching me through my bedroom vent, silently clicking a camera. The next morning, I skipped breakfast and went back into the hidden room. I needed to know more. I needed proof. My hands were trembling. I opened one of the boxes. It was filled with labeled photo albums. School, park, bathroom. My stomach turned. Bathroom? Someone had gone way too far. In the corner of the room, I spotted an old, beat-up camcorder. It was covered in dust but still had a memory card inside. My fingers shook as I grabbed it. I plugged the camcorder into my laptop. The screen flickered to life. The first video started playing. I nearly threw up. It was me, brushing my teeth. How could someone have filmed me in the bathroom? I thought of the rusty air vent above the mirror. I never even thought to look inside it. Then I noticed something worse. In the reflection behind me, there was a figure, a man, just barely visible, standing in my room, watching me. I paused the video, zooming in. My chest tightened. It wasn't just a shadow. You could see part of his coat dark green, like the one in the hallway closet. I ran to the hallway and yanked open the closet door. There it was, a long green coat, dusty, but clearly worn. My whole body turned ice cold. I screamed for Mom. She rushed over, thinking I hurt myself. But when I showed her the coat and video, her face went pale. That was already here. She swore she never touched that closet. Maybe it belonged to the old owner, she mumbled, but she looked more scared than I'd ever seen her. I told her everything, the hidden room, the photos, the videos. She tried to stay calm, but I saw her hands shaking. We need to call someone, she whispered. That night, a police officer came. I led him to the hidden door, but when we pushed it open, the room was empty. The photos, boxes all gone. My jaw dropped. No, I swear, it was all here. The cop gave me a look. Mom awkwardly laughed it off. Maybe she's been watching too many horror movies, but I knew I wasn't crazy. Someone had cleared that room out fast, and only one person knew I was going to show it to the police. Mom. That night, I checked her laptop while she was in the shower. In her downloads, I found a video. The same video of me in the bathroom. Why did she have it? My own mom. The one person I thought I could trust. My hands trembled as I backed away from the screen, heart racing. I heard the bathroom door creak open. Mom was coming. I closed the laptop and ran back to my room, pretending nothing had happened, but inside, I was shaking. I couldn't sleep again. My mind kept replaying the video. Why would Mom have a copy of it? Did she find it? Or had she always known? The next morning, I skipped school and snuck into the attic instead. If the hidden room was empty now, maybe something else was still hiding up there. I sifted through old furniture and dusty trunks. Then I found a wooden box with a lock. I smashed it open and gasped at what was inside. A stack of journals labeled in my mom's handwriting. Project Alice. I flipped one open. Day 1. She doesn't know yet. Must keep her in the dark. Each entry detailed my every move, where I went, who I talked to, what I wore. I wasn't just being stalked. I was being studied like a lab rat. In one journal, she wrote, "The resemblance to the original is uncanny. The clone has adapted well. Subject seems unaware of her true origin. Clone?" I dropped the journal, heart hammering in my chest. Was she saying I wasn't? Me? That I was some sort of copy? What original was she talking about? I went back to confront her, shaking. "Who am I?" I screamed. She looked stunned but not surprised. "You weren't supposed to find out. Not like this." She sat me down slowly, like I was a child. "You're not my biological daughter, Alice. You're a scientific recreation, a second chance. The first Alice died, the world spun. I felt sick. You cloned me," I whispered. She nodded. "You were perfect. I couldn't lose you again. I had to bring you back." She pulled out an old photo album. Pictures of a girl identical to me, but older, faded. "That was the real Alice," she said. "Your version too." I ran to the bathroom and stared at my reflection. Same eyes, same hair, same face. But suddenly, I didn't recognize the girl in the mirror anymore. That night, I cried myself to sleep. Was everything fake? My memories, my childhood, even my emotions? Who was I if I wasn't Alice? The next morning, Mom acted like everything was normal. Pancakes, small talk, like she hadn't just shattered my entire identity. "Eat up, sweetie," she chirped. I started digging. I hacked her email and found messages to someone called Dr. V. Subject has discovered partial truth. Need relocation plan. Schedule reset procedure. Reset? Were they going to erase my memory again? Was that what happened before? I had to escape before I lost myself forever. I packed a backpack, grabbed cash, and sneaked out through the basement door. I didn't have a plan. I just needed to run. Somewhere, anywhere. But as I walked down the street, a black van pulled up beside me. The door slid open. A man stepped out in a lab coat. He smiled. "Alice, it's time to come home." I screamed and ran, but I didn't even make it to the end of the street before everything went black. I woke up strapped to a table, bright lights blinding me. I blinked and saw glass walls, monitors, and men in coats. I wasn't in my house anymore. Dr. V leaned over me, calm but cold. "Your brain is too active, Alice. We were hoping we wouldn't need to reset you again, but you've gone too far." I struggled against the straps. "I'm not Alice, not your project. I'm a person." But he just injected something into my fore. "You were perfect. Until you remembered, everything blurred." I started forgetting. My room, my school, my name. I screamed until my voice vanished. Was this the reset? Was I slipping away again? But then power outage. The lights snapped off. Sirens wailed. Emergency red lights flickered. Someone had triggered a breach. I heard doors slam and people yelling. In the chaos, someone unclipped my straps. A girl, maybe 16, just like me. "Come with me if you want answers," she whispered. I nodded weakly. We ran through dark halls lined with test tubes. I saw others, girls who looked like me, sleeping, floating in chambers. I nearly passed out. "This isn't a house," the girl explained. "It's a lab. You were never supposed to make it to the real world, but you escaped. Twice." "Who are you?" I asked. She gave a bitter smile. "I'm model A12. You're a 07. I was made before you, but they said you were better." My stomach dropped. I wasn't unique. I wasn't even first. Just one in a line of experiments versions. And this girl, She had every reason to hate me, but she didn't. She helped me escape again. The elevator will take you to the woods. Run. Don't stop. Don't trust anyone, not even yourself. We reached the elevator, but alarms blared louder. Guards turned the corner, shouting. There they are. A 12 shoved me inside and hit the button. Go. The doors closed on her face. She was crying. I didn't even get to say thank you. Seconds later, I was outside in the woods under moonlight. I ran for hours. My legs ached. I didn't know who to trust, where to go, or who I even was anymore. But I was free. For now. Eventually, I reached the road and hitched a ride with a kind trucker named Maria. You okay, kid? She asked. I didn't know how to answer. I made up a name, Ellie, and told her I'd run away from home. She believed me, took me to a safe shelter where no one asked questions. At night, I started writing everything down. Every memory, every face, every code name. If they tried to reset me again, I'd have proof. They wouldn't erase me again. I hacked into a public library computer, typed Dr. V plus research facility plus cloning, and to my surprise, something came up. A whistleblower video, uploaded yesterday. It was a 12, my clone sister. She'd exposed the lab, the facility, the cloning program. She'd recorded everything and risked everything. She saved more than just me. The video went viral. News outlets exploded. Police raids followed. The lab was shut down. Dr. V, arrested. But Mom, my mom, she vanished without a trace. Even with the lab gone, I still felt hunted. I kept moving from city to city, never staying long. I didn't know who might still be watching. I couldn't shake the fear that Mom might return, or worse, that I'd start forgetting again. What if there were backup plans I didn't know about? One night, I dreamed of the real Alice, the girl I was cloned from. She stood in a field, smiling. You're not me, she whispered, but you're real. I woke up crying. I didn't know if that dream was implanted, imagined, or something spiritual, but it felt freeing. For once, I didn't feel like a copy. I decided to stop running. I got a fake ID under the name unravelled. It wasn't my past, but maybe it could be my future. I enrolled in community college, studied genetics. I had to understand what I was, and the more I learned, the more I realized. I wasn't broken. I was built. A year passed. I still checked the news for any hint of Mom, but it was like she'd disappeared off the face of the earth. Until an anonymous package arrived at my dorm. No return address. Inside, a photo. Me sleeping. Recent. And a note. You're still mine. My blood ran cold. She was still out there, watching, waiting. I turned the note over. Coordinates. One final message. Come find the truth, or I will find you. I debated burning the note, running again, but I was tired of running, tired of being afraid. I booked a bus ticket to the location. The coordinates led to a cabin deep in the forest. I stepped inside with my phone ready to record and my heart ready to shatter. There she was, Mom, sitting by a fireplace, aged thinner, but still with that same cold smile. You came, she said softly, like she was proud. I'm not yours, I snapped. You lied to me. You ruined my life. But she just nodded. I know, but I didn't do it for me. I did it for her. She handed me a tape. A video of the real Alice. A message. If I die, bring her back. My memories, my voice make her better than me. I watched it in silence. The real Alice had asked for this, but I never agreed. I never got to choose, and that's what made it wrong. You had no right, I whispered. You stole my life before I even had one. Mom started to cry. I didn't want to lose her. I just wanted one more day. I should have hated her, but in that moment, I saw it. The desperation, the grief, and I realized I was her grief, walking and breathing. She offered me something else, a folder, my DNA file, the full blueprint of who I was. You can burn it or read it, but this is your truth. I took it. My hands trembled as I left the cabin. I didn't look back. I couldn't. That chapter was over, even if the scars would stay. Back in my dorm, I opened the folder. Charts, graphs, genome maps, but one sticky note stuck out. You were more than science. You were my second chance. I applied for a transfer to a top university. I wanted to use what they did to me to help others, maybe stop them from doing it again. I gave lectures anonymously, told my story under a fake name. If you ever feel like your identity was given to you, not chosen, you're not alone. I even started therapy. It was hard, terrifying, and full of tears. But for once, I wasn't healing someone else's pain. I was finally facing my own. One day, a girl approached me after a lecture. "Your story saved me," she said. I thought I was the only one with a messed up past. I smiled for real. Maybe I'd never know where I truly came from, but I finally knew where I was going and who I wanted to be. Years passed. I graduated, got a job at a genetics research center, not to recreate people but to help them reclaim themselves. I never saw Mom again, but sometimes I'd get a photo in the mail. Me at work, me laughing, me living. No note, just a reminder. She's watching. At first, it creeped me out, but over time, I accepted it. Maybe she couldn't let go, or maybe she was just making sure I never disappeared again. I framed the photo of real Alice, not because I was her, but because without her, I wouldn't be me. I owed her that much. So, who am I? A copy? A mistake? A ghost of someone else? No, I'm Alina Vale. I found my voice, my future, and the strength to tell my story.